Welcome to the Aligned Life Podcast by yours truly, Dr. Tiffany. How about we get out that magnifying glass and look at every part of your life? The awesome, the suck, and everything in between. There's so much beauty in you. Stop being afraid of what isn't good enough and let's double down on what is together. It's about your truth and your life, aligned. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aligned Life Podcast. Today is about overcoming the normal way to do things and choosing to do it your way. This took me a lot of years, but I have remembered since elementary school, people would say, number one, when she puts her mind to something, she really goes and gets it. Number two, she just doesn't seem to do things the easy way. Oh, God. So we're going to talk about that a bit. Number one, when you decide to do something, is there anything that will get in your way? And if there is, understand what those are, because they're just excuses. But today we're really going to dig into, you just don't do anything easy. All right. So I thought that was kind of negative in the beginning. Like, hello, God, how many times, Tiff, do you have to bang your head against the freaking wall until you realize this wall isn't going to break and I can't get through this? And my head hurts. How long will it take you? And now I've realized that I can bang my head against the wall for a few days, a few weeks. And then I realize there has got to be a simpler way. Not easy, but simpler. Because when the way is aligned, then it becomes easy. So what I have historically done, I'm a lifelong learner and possibly an overlearner. I thought in order to do something, I need to know exactly how to do it by some expert who's smarter than me, who has more experience than me, who talks about it more than me, and all the things. So I put them on a pedestal. I put the experts on a pedestal to tell me what to do and how to do it in my business and in my life. So I never ran it through my own discernment meter. Coach Johnny says to do it this way. Tiff does it that way. Tiff does it that way, and that doesn't work. That doesn't actually feel good. So I quit doing it Johnny's way, and now I find someone else to tell me their way. And in that exploration, I've defined my goalposts for how this should look. Far right, far left. Now I give myself space to determine where I fit. I remember 10 years ago, at that time, chiropractic in the Midwest was still predominantly masculine. It was how they used to do it. What was expected is what was completed. There weren't any trailblazers to challenge that line, to challenge the philosophy, to challenge the premise, and then to challenge the approach. Well, I guess I was that person. And I remember the conversation that changed my perspective forever was, Dr. Johnson, it seems as if you are a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. And I thought, screw you. Screw you. Had my temper tantrum, wanted to quit because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. I was doing it wrong. They were trying to push me out. They were whatever I thought they were doing. Had nothing to do with what was real. It was my own lens I was looking through. And then I realized, yes, I am. In my goal of redefining Vitality Chiropractic in the Midwest, I was trying to jam the square peg into the round hole. I was trying to fit who I was into a model that did not fit me. And I did that for 5 years, but it never felt good. So where in your life do you feel like you're pushing and pushing and pushing the square peg into the round hole? Like, where does it feel not aligned? Like, this doesn't feel good. There's difficult times in our life that feel good. That we know we're on the right path. We know we're going the right direction. And then there's other times that's like, whoa, this doesn't feel good. I got to pull back. I got to be able to see this from a different perspective. And in my little temper tantrums, that's when I typically say I quit. Screw it. I don't know where else to go. I don't know who else to be. Because this masculine chiropractic world at that time was predominantly men in suits and dress shoes. And I come in and say, why would I wear a button-up shirt and sweat and be uncomfortable and have my feet hurt? And so I started to redefine who I was in chiropractic in our area. I did it my way. I redefined who I was and then delivered that message, that adjustment in the way that I knew I can do it best. Because there isn't a one size fits all, guys, whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in your corporate job, whether it's running a business, parenting, it's just not the same for everyone. It's where I feel the challenge of comparing yourself to other people is just a train wreck. It's becoming a train wreck for us. We don't know where anyone came from. We don't know their experiences as to why they do the things they do in their life. All we know is us. But when we start to focus on everyone else around us, we lose sight of us. So when that gentleman said, Dr. Johnson, it seems as if you are a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. Thank you. Thank you, doctor. It was the catalyst to come back to me and determine how I wanted my practice to be. I was being told that I was adjusting too many people. And I say BS to that noise. I'm seeing double the amount that I was seeing then. That means that many families are more connected. They have more hope. They are living a much better life than before. And at that time, I was the black sheep. I was the trailblazer. I was the one that was doing too much. So I redefined in my way. And I saw that comment as the other goalpost that I needed to determine the boundaries and the rules of where I needed to play the game and how I was going to totally kick butt at it. Because now I know the rules. Now I know the players in the game. I know the ones that say, no, you can't do that. And I also know the opposite. I can, and I will. And when we have mentors like that, when we know people that are doing it their way, it gives us hope that we can have the same. There's stigmas, there's expectations. I remember somebody saying, you seriously wear yoga pants and no shoes every day when you adjust? Yes, that's what makes me feel the best. When I can feel the best, I can totally focus on that person on the table. I'm not worrying about how I look and how I'm showing up into the world. So where in your life do you need to do it your way? Where in your life do you need to stop banging your head against the wall? Stop shoving the square peg into the round hole. Pull that out and objectively look at what other alternatives are out there. How can you make it simpler? That was a hard word to say. Simpler. When things are more simple, they become more easy when they're aligned with you, who you are, and what you want to deliver. And lastly, right after the breakdown comes the breakthrough. And so many times we don't get to the breakdown because we're so afraid of failing, afraid of dying, afraid of people not liking us, afraid of not being loved, afraid of backlash. We're so afraid of it that we live in this little tiny comfort zone. And that little tiny comfort zone is miserable. So the breakthrough comes after the breakdown. When we allow and surrender the breakdown to happen, just know that the rise is coming. The breakthrough is coming. That's how we get through that. Like that's the pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow after the tornado. But we got to get through the tornado. We can't hide. So where in your life do you need the breakdown? Or where in your life have you had the biggest breakdowns, yet you haven't defined the breakthroughs that have come shortly after? Those breakthroughs have identified who you are. They've allowed you to live better, to make more of an impact. Those breakthroughs came because of the vulnerability and courage it took to fall flat on your face. And you're still loved. You're still safe. So beyond that, you can do anything. Life isn't easy or hard, but what will it take for it to be meaningful? What will it take for it to be impactful? What will it take for you to go to bed every night to know that you made a difference in the world? Are you playing too safe? Is it just meh, mediocre, okay? And if so, where do you need to play all out and all in and do whatever it takes in order to see what the breakthrough looks like? We're either growing or we're dying. Which one are you? Thank you for listening and following the Aligned Life podcast with Dr. Tiffany. If you love this and can think of anyone who needs to hear about it, would you mind sharing with them? Find me online at drtiffanyjohnson.com, where you can find out more about my memberships, courses, mentoring, and any upcoming events. To learn more about chiropractic for you and your family, go to htchiro.com and follow our social pages. I can't wait to connect with you soon, and until then, be you, be aligned.